Yo, what's going on, guys? BS Gaming here, bringing you another 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross video. In this video, we're going to be doing a full unit breakdown on Derieri of Purity. So in this video, I'm just going to go over her skills, her stats, and basically overall function within the game, as well as her unique / commandment. And then at the end, I'm going to place where she is on my personal tier list and how effective she is in game and where she can be the most useful, right? So yeah, so I guess we can just get started. So this is Derieri of Purity, right? So she is a red, very strong single hitting target unit. Her skills are insane, which I'm going to get into in a minute. But her skills are insane, and her overall kit allows her to deal super good damage. Even probably more than Escanor, to be honest. Probably more than Jericho, because of the way she works and whatnot. But yeah, she's really good. So if you summon for her, you should you should give yourself a round of applause, because she is really good for overall content in the game, and basically overall she's very good overall. So without further ado, let's go ahead and break down her skills. Okay, so starting from her first skill, which is a single hitting target skill. At rank 3, does 600% damage, which is insane. I believe that is the highest multiplier for a skill in the game, besides ultimates, right? Obviously. So yeah, her skill 1 is insane. It hits extremely hard. Again, toppled along with her unique and her buff. She's insane. Like, she can hit numbers in in the millions range. So her skill 1 is absolutely bonkers. And again, it's just an incredible skill, right? So even at rank 2, you're still gonna do tons of damage, because she just has the, you know, the ability to dish out damage. Again, it could be more than Jericho's even, and Jericho is a critting machine, right? But Derieri is just pure offense, and nothing literally can she basically has the highest damage potential in the game, basically because of how much, because of how her attack stack and how strong her skill 1 is, right? So 600%. Again, 600% is a lot. Escanor himself only has 500%, and even Lost Vein Meliodas only has 500% attack. So you have to think about it. Derieri is literally the only one with a 600% multiplier on her skill 1. There's no other unit that's coming to mind. If there is, you can correct me in the comments, but again, she is the only one in the game so far, I believe, that has a 600% multiplier on her skill 1, which is absolutely incredible. She's an incredible unit, again, just because she can hit hard, and just there's nothing really more to say because of her attack damage and her attack potential. It's so much, it's so high. So yeah, again, nothing else to say. 600%, crazy unit, right? Alright, so then we get into her skill 2. Now her skill 2 card is a buff skill, and at rank 3 it increases her basic stats by 50%, and she also gains evasion for 1 turn, which is completely insane, because if you combine this with her skill 1, she's hitting immensely hard. Not only is she buffing her attack by 50%, she's also getting that attack multiplier 600% on top of it. So you have to think, this is gonna go, this is gonna deal crazy damage against mainly any opponent, even if they're type advantage, because there's just no way that they can tank all the punishment Derieri is gonna throw at them, even if they do have type advantage. Again, unless they have a shield such as Goddess Elizabeth, but on global we don't have that unit yet, so there's really no way a shield can protect you against Derieri's damage, because even Green Merlin's shield is going to get completely steamrolled by the damage that Derieri deals out, right? And Derieri is red, so her shield isn't really going to do much, right? So the thing is, Derieri also has evasion, so unless you're canceling her buffs, no other card can get through it, right? Except for Escanor and maybe some of the SRs, right? But Escanor is really what comes to mind when you want to cancel her buffs. But again, he's green, so he's not, even Escanor is not going to be safe for the punishment Derieri throws out at him, right? So again, her buff skill is insane. If it didn't have evasion, it wouldn't I don't think it'd be like the craziest, but since it does, it is really, really good. So again, you're not going to get hit light by this at all. It's gonna deal near death damage, or it's just gonna straight up kill you. Again, even without it, her skill 1 still does insane damage, right? So you gotta keep that into consideration. So yeah, if you see her on the battlefield, you're gonna want to take out Derieri as quickly as possible, because you basically know that you're screwed if you let her even so much as get a breath on you when she uses her buff skill in her skill 1. So yeah, again, really, really good combination. Love what they did with the kit. I love the design of this unit. It's so much fun. So yeah, again, really, really good design overall, right? So yeah, let's go into her ultimate. So her ultimate skill is the combo star, right? So her ultimate skill, which is really, really good too, because her ultimate skill has amplify on it. And what does that mean? That means per every buff that she has on herself, she's getting a 30% damage increase. So what that means is every time she uses her buff skill, which automatically gives her 3 buffs, right, at rank 1. On rank 2 and 3, I believe evasion counts as 1, but I'm not entirely sure. So it's 3 to 4, give or take, right? So you're getting either 90% or you're getting 120% on her amplify, right? If I'm calculating that right, it's 30% per buff. So 120%, right? If it's 4, just from her her increase alone, right? Now, if there's another person who can give more, then it's obviously going to deal more, but the max you'll probably see is 4, right? If evasion counts. Again, this is powerful because not only is it strong single hitting, it's going to be amplified further when she increases her stats, right? So again, there's literally no one who can like tank this full on heavy, because it's just crazy. Like there's no way you can get through. Like there's no way you're surviving a super strong hit from Derieri. There's just no way, right? There's absolutely no way you're getting through this alive, because Derieri is going to hit you hard enough to kill you either in 1 blow or 2 or whatever, right? So again, amazing card, an amazing kit. I love what they did with it. So her overall thing is attack, right? So, and this was just her skills and her ultimate. We're gonna go into her unique, her commandment, and overall, like her overall usage in the game, and where she places on my personal tier list, right? So again, great ultimate, amplify. You're not gonna survive, right? So again, really cool unit. All right, so then let's go into her unique / commandment. All right, so now we're going into her commandment / unique, right? So to get things started with her unique basically should have been just called a combo star instead of combat power, because that's basically what it is, right? So her unique, or passive, or whatever you want to call it. So basically every time she uses a skill, she gets 10% increase to her attack, and this caps at 10 times. So you're basically getting a 100% increase to her attack. Again, if you topple this on with her buff skill, with her skill 1, you are most definitely not surviving, because I have used this myself. I've capped it out at 10, and let me tell you right now, there is no way anyone can survive this, because there's just not. Her damage is just too much to like tank. I don't know if there's a certain build you can use to survive this with blue units even, because let's consider someone like Goddess Elizabeth, right? You put up her barrier. Her barrier will be able to stop Derieri's skill 1 and her passive, I believe, because Goddess Elizabeth's skill, her shield is very good, because it blocks any additional increase to damage that you may have. So it's literally just your base attack, right? It's not any, like, it's not spike, it's not I don't even know if amplify works. Again, I don't play JP, so I'm not familiar with Goddess Elizabeth's shield all that much, so I don't want to give you guys the wrong information, but I believe it does cancel out any additional attack like attack buffers that may come her way. So Derieri probably won't be able to deal as much punishment, but it'll still be very, very strong, right? Again, for global, however, we don't have that. So there's not a very, very powerful hitting unit that can deal or take as much damage that Derieri will give you, right? So she's pretty good. So keep in mind, you do have to always use some sort of skill with her, right? Whether it be her buff, whether it be her attack or her ultimate, you always have to use a skill, and that's how you will get her passive to go off. If you don't, it'll reset. So keep that in mind as well. If you don't use a skill with her on the turn, it's going to reset. So let's say you have 8 attack buffs, that will reset. So be careful on how you play it, right? Because you don't want to build up 9, not use a skill, and then go back to 0, because that is very, very annoying. That is one thing I will say, that is a very annoying mechanic when you don't get RNG luck and you don't have any skills and you build her up to, like, let's say 6 or 7, and then it all goes down to 0. Annoying. Very, very annoying. But the payoff is really good if you cap it and you use an attack skill, because again, no one survives. There's no one can survive. I don't care what you're telling me. No one is able to survive, right? So yeah, again, very, very strong, unique. So then her commandment, however, isn't as good. It only reduces ranged attacks. So something like Escanor's Cruel Sun, something like Demon Meliodas' slashes, right? Any and all ranged attacks in PvP, mind you, not even in overall content, just in PvP, it'll reduce it by 35%. So let's say this wasn't just in PvP. Let's say this was in all areas of the content. She actually would be even more crazy, believe it or not, right? Because this would mean all ranged attacks, no matter what content it's in, will be reduced by 35%. So it's not going to be, you know, dealing crazy damage. But unfortunately, it is only in PvP. So it is only effective there. And even there, it's not like anything spectacular, because if you play geared PvP, their builds might be able to bypass whatever percentage reduction, right? Not bypass it, wrong choice of words, but it might make it seem like it's not even like there, to be honest with you. I faced Escanor plenty times with his Cruel Sun. He still was able to do like 30 something K to 40 something K on a rank 2, right? So again, it's not that crazy. It may work more so on characters that are not as strong, such as let's say Blue Demon Meliodas, for example. You have Red King in the back, who's reducing his pierce rate, and then you have Derieri reducing his range skills by 35%. He's doing nothing. He's doing damn near nothing, right? But at the same time, on units like Escanor, it's going to not even really matter as much, because he's still a really, really strong hitting unit, right? So again, not the craziest commandment, and it's not really like anything spectacular, but it's there. I'm sure it'll come in clutch sometimes, or you know, whatever. But yeah, then again, her commandment isn't the craziest commandment in the world, and it definitely won't be a deciding factor in whether you win or lose. What's gonna be a deciding factor is her passive and her skills. That's more so where she shines, right? But again, pretty overall good kit. She's not you know, she can be the most broken unit in the game, and she cannot be like she also cannot be the most broken unit in the game, if that makes sense, because it's all about whether how you build her up and whatnot. So yeah, now that we take a look at that, we're just gonna see where she goes places in overall content of the game and whatnot. So now we're gonna go and we're gonna judge where she's most useful, right? So this is where I personally think she might be the most useful. The most useful she might be is she might be most useful in Guild Boss. She most definitely will be the most useful in the Guild Boss. At least the current one we have on JP or on Global. My apologies, on Global, right? The Guild Boss we have right now, as of the I believe it's the 25th. I want to say, let me check real quick, and it is the 26th, actually, the 26th that I'm recording this. She is the most useful for the Guild Boss, right? That's where she is the most useful in my opinion. In other areas of the game where she could also be useful is the final boss right now for Meliodas and Elizabeth, but that is only for a limited time and then it goes away, right? So there. And she's also useful in just other areas of the game as well. You know, especially in the Crimson Demon. The Crimson Demon, she completely and utterly destroys that monster. She's insane, right? There's no stopping her. Like she's gonna do insane amount of damage because she can actually build up in that mode to her max potential and then completely nuke the hell out of that boss. He doesn't even stand a chance against Derieri because she's just that good, right? She's really, really good. Right now, in other certain areas, right, you may not use her as much because there's just honestly, she's not really necessary because there are other units who can do it quicker, in my honest opinion. So in terms of story, you might not use her. I mean, she's really good in she's really good in overall content, but the most useful you'll probably find her is in the Guild Boss and in the Crimson Demon. Again, she can do it all, right? She can do massive damage, but you might find that she's not going to be as crazy as you may think. Besides PvP, right, in the Crimson Demon, PvP is where she shines, right? For right now, PvP is where she shines because she can deal massive damage and there's no one to counter her. There's legit no one that can counter her because she's just that good. When it comes to damage, there's no one who can counter her, right? Now there are people like Blue King, Red Galther, Blue Arthur that just came out that can stop her because they can petrify and they can also attack disable. But if she gets that evasion, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do against her because they can't cancel boss, right? So again, she's really, really good. But again, there are a few things that can counter her. And as far as content goes, her main usage will probably be Guild Boss, final bosses, the PvP, and maybe when the tower comes out, you'll use her then. But as far as other areas of the game are so easy that you can honestly just blitz it with other builds of other teams, right? You don't really need her, but if you use her, obviously she's obviously going to get the job done, right? But again, she's not a necessity if you don't. Now, if you don't play PvP, I would honestly say just wait until the part 1 or the part 2 tickets get her, because then you can just get her using tickets, right? But if you don't care for PvP, then she's not going to be worth your time, or she's not really going to be the mainstay of your team or your box, right? So she is mainly for PvP based people, right? But again, Guild Boss and final bosses, she completely shines. Don't get it twisted. She's really good in all areas of the game. But again, if you don't play PvP, then maybe she's not the unit that you mostly need or mostly want, right? So again, as far as other areas of the game, she can do it all. But PvP, Guild Boss, and the I'm losing my train of thought. PvP, Guild Boss, and the Crimson Demon is where she will most likely shine for an average player, right? And even experienced players. But again, PvP is where she dominates right now, right? So again, that is her overall focus in the game. So now we're gonna go and we're gonna judge her on my personal tier list, where I will put her, and I'll give my reasonings, and then we'll end the video off. So my personal tier list, right, where she stands for me is she would be in the SS class, right? And for me, SS class is the max. And right now, I have her, green Escanor, red Escanor. I believe I have green Esteros up there, personally for me, right? Because now here's why. Now just wait a minute. Now here's why I put her up there, right? Before you go ahead and be like, oh, well, let me give my reasonings. So my reasonings for putting her up in the SS class, right? My reasoning for putting her in the SS class is because, unlike other units, right, she's very good in all areas of the game, right? Of course, in other modes, she's gonna shine more so in there than other areas. But again, you can use her anywhere, honestly, because her damage output is insane. Now, does she need support? Yes. Does she need Gowther to rank up her cards? Yes. Does she obviously need someone to maybe heal her or take off her debuffs? Yes, of course, right? No unit is perfect, right? But she honestly can do it alone if you really wanted her to do it, right? Because as long as she's using a skill, she's good. She doesn't need to have rank 3 to go ahead and be the most powerful unit, because she can still hit hard as long as you get her passive up to maybe like 5 attack buffs. Then she's gonna go ahead and out damage like many of the units in the game. Now, when she's completely built up with let's say rank 3 buff, let's say 10 buffs on her passive, she's gonna out damage pretty much every unit in the game, no doubt about that, right? But as far as it goes, when you're just using her, she can still out damage many of the units in the game, right? It's not like this is a secret, because she has crazy attack multipliers, right? It's not like she's anything like under subpar, right? So this is why I'm putting her in SS, right? She can do it all, right? Especially when you're gonna get into the higher realms of the game, you're gonna find that she's very, very useful. She's a very useful unit, right? Obviously, as more units come out, she'll probably, you know, get lower on the tier list, but that's how it is for every unit. They have their, you know, their era, and then they fall back. That's just how it is. But as far as where she's placed, SS is where I'm keeping her for now. But obviously, when more units come out, she might fall lower. Red Escanor for me he's really good, but he is starting to fall to the S class category for me, because he's just not I find him a little, no, I don't want to say underwhelming, because that wouldn't be the right word, but I find him not as amazing when he first released as he did, right? I use Green Escanor way more than I use Red Escanor. Red Escanor is very dependent on Arthur and Gowther in PvP. He honestly cannot function without someone buffing him because of his Amplify, right? Now, if he had what Derieri had, he'd be insane. He'd probably be above SS. But for me, he's falling to S because he doesn't really have anything other than Amplify in his kit. He can take away ultimate gauges, but that's honestly just about it, right? I mean, he's pretty much like, he's still a very, very good unit, but again, he's fallen below because I don't really use him as much. But again, still a really good unit. But yeah, guys, so that pretty much sums up this entire video of this Derieri unit breakdown. So I hope you guys did get some valuable information out of it, and I hope this helped you guys determine whether you're going to use her in the long run or whether you're going to keep her in your box or whatever. At the very least, I think you should 80 out of 80 her, and I think you should decide whether or not you want to use her in other game modes besides PvP, Guild Boss, and Crimson Demon. But again, she's really, really good. And as for equipment, I'm going to make it really, really, really quick. Her equipment should always be attack and defense. Always attack and defense, because she has low crit stats. And yeah, so attack and defense is her equipment. There's no ands, if, and, ors about it. Attack and defense, right? So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribe for more Grand Cross content if you're new to the channel. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.